Bernie Sanders was interviewed by C-SPAN, and he said something that I think a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters, or even those who are extremely sympathetic still to the cause, to the revolution, are not going to like. And so he said this to C-SPAN: "It doesn't appear that I'm going to be the nominee." Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I believe in honesty. I and the rest of the Young Turks say that we are going to be honest with the audience. And we don't just say that as a tagline. It's not just intended for shirts. We're actually going to do it, even if it leads to less views and less revenue and all of that bullshit. I'm not surprised by him saying that. I believe that that is largely, although with fewer words, what he expressed in his big speech last week. But as I said in my response to that speech, I don't think that this is the end of the world. I didn't think it then. I don't think it now. Now, there are some in the media who are going to take this most recent comment with C-SPAN, and they're going to try to do with it what they did with his last speech, and what they did with his speech after the big Tuesday round of primaries, including California. They're going to try to say, that means this is over. And when they say this, they're not just going to mean his nomination or his attempt to gain the nomination. They're going to try to say that it's all over. Everything, all that he has been fighting for, all of that we have been fighting for, and they can say it. I don't really give a fuck if they say it, because they're wrong. And the way that they're wrong is the way that Bernie Sanders saying that he's probably not going to be the nominee also doesn't directly matter to what we're trying to achieve, and specifically what Bernie Sanders is trying to achieve. Bernie Sanders is saying that because he is trying to walk a very narrow path here. I believe that Bernie Sanders is not just a principled guy. He's not just a guy who's stuck to his guns. He is an incredibly shrewd, principled, but also wise politician who has been in this corrupt system, who has miraculously not been corrupted by the system, and he sees an opportunity here. Okay, he saw it in the beginning, and the way that he's going to exploit the opportunity might be different now, since the last round of primaries, but it remains the same. He sees an opportunity to accomplish a great deal, and he has the power to accomplish a great deal. He just doesn't apparently have the power to become the nominee, except for, as always, and I'm not going to give the caveat every time, but as always, there are still ways that he could become the nominee. I am not disregarding those. The chance of that happening remains the exact same that it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago or a month ago, and I am eagerly following the news that could lead to that sort of event. And I'm going to be at the actual convention, and I hope to see it. But even if that doesn't happen, Bernie Sanders is not going away, Bernie Sanders' support is not going away, and the revolution isn't going away. All of those in the media who have been trying to amplify his message and who have been trying to get people tuned into it, they're not going off the air after the convention or after the general election or any of that. Bernie Sanders isn't going anywhere. Bernie Sanders just got 11,000 people to register interest in actually running for office. That's bigger than a wave. That's a tsunami of progressive candidates for office. And that's just one tiny little part of it. And so whether he becomes the nominee or not has almost nothing to do with that. And for those of you who believe that there's still a chance that he could run as a third-party candidate, or that he could run as the VP to Hillary Clinton, which I think far fewer people are interested in, or that he could run as part of a Green Party ticket with Jill Stein, those are not things that I think are incredibly likely to happen, but they're not in any way eliminated by what he said to C-SPAN today. He says that it seems unlikely that he will become the nominee of the Democratic Party. But all of those options remain just as open. I don't personally think that he's going to go down those roads, but if he does, I will support him, and I wouldn't be overly surprised either. And so these sorts of statements are made by Bernie Sanders to get us ready for the next step, which he says is going to come very soon. Within a week, he says he's going to announce the next phase, which I'm going to eagerly cover, perhaps live. He's trying to get us ready. He's not trying to demoralize us. The media might try to take his statement and demoralize us. And so then it goes on to you. He can only do so much. He's not responsible for how you react to these statements. It's on you to understand that quitting accomplishes nothing. Losing support in Bernie Sanders accomplishes nothing. If the goals were worthwhile a year ago, if they were worthwhile 6 months ago, if they were worthwhile a week ago, they remain worthwhile even if weeks or months or indeed years of effort are required to achieve them. And I'm ready for that long haul, and I hope that the rest of you are too.